Fusion fam, what's up?
Yo!
Man, we have a very special guest in the building. Man, I'm going to read off some of these credits. Oh my God. So first off, this is the OG Vegeta.
OG!
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm actually geeking out right now, man.
He is Dr. Eggman of Sonic Prime.
That's right.
He is Ryuk from Death Note.
That's right.
He's been in Little Big Planet. He's been in various Lego franchises. Man, awesome, by the way. Oh
Lego,
my God.
oh,
You've been in Inuyasha, Black Lagoon. Man, you've been to Sonic Underground. What haven't you done? What haven't you done?
I don't know. I've been around a long time. I've done a few things. I've done a lot.
Man, this is Brian Drummond.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Baddest Vegeta in the land. I don't care, man. You're my favorite, man. When kicking Kakarot around was good times.
Good times indeed. And if you don't know who we are, this podcast, this tag team, this collective, we are Fusion All right, so first, Brian, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Yes.
Really,
no problem.
We really appreciate it.
You're all on.
Oh man, time to go to work. All right, so first and foremost, Brian, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood growing up and kind of what led you to get into voice acting?
Wow, yeah, voice acting is different. I don't think I ever decided that's what I wanted to do. I had a very, very different upbringing. Grew up on a thoroughbred racehorse ranch in the interior of the province of British Columbia, which is west coast of Canada. But in high school, I kind of fell in love with drama. Did a few plays with some friends, and I was encouraged to audition for a really big theater school in the big city where I'm near, called Vancouver, British Columbia. Got into this great theater school, graduated from that program, thought I was going to do theater and film and Broadway, and I was doing stage, and I was doing some film, and then I came across some voice auditions. Your agent always sends you out for all kinds of stuff. Yeah. One of my first auditions was for a show called Reboot, done by Mainframe.
Oh my God.
I did not get the part. But you know what? With failure, like Vegeta, you get stronger, you try again. And my next audition was for a series called G.I. Joe Extreme, and I landed one of the leads. Right after that was Vegeta on Dragon Ball Z. So, and then I was doing a little bit of film, theater, voice for about 5, 6, 7 years, and voice got so busy. By about 2000, year 2000, I was only doing voices, and I gave up theater and film and said, you know what, it's going to be voices. It's just taking up every hour of the weeks, and that's what I'm going to have to do.
Damn.
Yeah, that's life story in a snapshot.
Yeah, you pretty much did, man. So what's your favorite voice that you like doing, like all the animation you've done over the years?
Wow, you know what? A lot of people ask, they might think it'd be Ryuk from Death Note or Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, which are great. They're iconic characters. But I grew up really enjoying Wolverine in the comics, and I got a chance to play him in 5 different features, motion comic features that were just phenomenal. And when you get to voice something that as a kid you thought was the coolest X-Men ever, that was sort of the pinnacle for me. I'm like, I am Wolverine. And when you get to do that was one of the best. That was one of the best.
So what's drawn you into Wolverine? Why do you like him so much?
You know, I don't know. I think because I already naturally have kind of a snarly rasp a bit to my voice and some depth to it. But I've always liked kind of the anti-heroes a little bit. Like Vegeta's a lot like that, and Knuckles in Sonic Underground, he's a bit of the anti-hero too. They just have a bit of they do heroic things, but they got a bit of a badass edge to them. They're always fun to play. They're always, fun to read. They get great writing. So I think that's probably what draws me to those characters.
Okay. So how was the audition process in actually becoming Vegeta in Dragon Ball?
That's a good question. I mean, I didn't know much about the show at all. We're talking mid-90s. There's not a lot of anime on TV. I'm sent this audition for this strange series, and we didn't even see pictures of the characters as far as I remember. He's described as he's an alien.
Okay.
He's a prince.
Oh.
He's egotistical. He's a killer. He's badass. He's got a planet named after him. So, but when you put and he's diminutive in size, but extremely powerful.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. But when it said he was smaller but strong, I wanted to pitch his voice a little higher, and then I also wanted to make him sound sort of cocky and arrogant because he was a prince. So that's where I was like, Kakarot, you clown! I wanted to give him a feeling of being above it all. And that's where that sort of vibe came from for the OG Vegeta. Yeah.
I'm geeking out right now. Just did all that. I swear. But it was crazy, man. You played Knuckles, right?
Yeah.
How did you prepare for that role for Sonic Underground?
Yeah,
man?
that's a really different one because I'd worked with Sue Blue, a great director who had done a ton of animation. She directed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, piles of stuff. I worked with her on Beast Machines and G.I. Joe Extreme, and she was directing the Sonic Underground series. I didn't know much about that either. There wasn't a lot of animated Sonic stuff on TV.
Right.
This was the late 90s. The game was out there, but I wasn't playing it. I was working as a performer, so I didn't know much about it. And they told me he's an echidna. What's an echidna? I don't know what an echidna is.
I thought that was a made-up animal for the longest time.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
I ain't got Google now.
there wasn't even Google then. I probably went to the library, flipping through books.
Go to the encyclopedia.
Some random animal from Australia. Okay, it's an echidna, but he's kind of like a weird hedgehog. Anyhow, so all I knew, same with him, kind of like the others, was he's got a bit of attitude, and it was a little different on that show. Jaleel White, everybody, Steve Urkel. Yeah, great character. He played Sonic and Manic and Sonya. They pitched his voice for the character Sonya. Yeah. So his was quite higher pitched in tone. So we made Knuckles same. He was kind of higher, like, Sonic, what are you doing? Give me the Chaos Crystal. Whereas now, of course, Idris Elba's playing him, and he's deep and tough and cool. And, I was like, how come I didn't get super cool deep Sonic?
Like, I've been doing deep voices for a while.
Exactly. But preparation usually just based on the character description they give you, and you come up with an idea, and then they choose you or they don't, right?
Okay. Yeah. So my wife is standing in front of me, and I have to ask her. So she's a huge Death Note fan, and so am I.
Yeah.
So Ryuk. How was that audition process going? I have another follow-up question.
That's probably the most unique audition process because we were sent sides for the characters we were going to audition for. I was not sent the sides for Ryuk. I was sent like Lightstad, some of the other detectives. Okay. I might have even read for L. I can't even remember. Okay. But when I went to the audition in the studio, they had pictures of the characters up, but we weren't sent the pictures. So I saw these pictures. Oh, there's Lightstad. There's these guys, and I'm like, whoa, who's the demon? Like, who's the freaky looking face demon? How come I'm not getting to audition for him? Yeah. So I asked the director, can I audition for that guy? He's frickin' cool. Yeah. And they said, yeah, sure. Take 5 minutes, and you can read him with your other characters as well. But remember, he's not a bad guy. He's not the villain, and he kind of has a funny laugh. So he looked like this creepy, shriveled up smoker face skull. So that's where I kind of gave him the laugh, and then gave him more of a raspy voice because I thought he looked sort of like a old smoker face, with his teeth and white face and and the laugh. And I didn't get any other roles I auditioned for, but I got Ryuk. Yeah. So what more could you ask for, right?
Oh man,
fun role.
I love Ryuk. So, speaking of talking about Death Note, do you feel what Light did in the anime and in the TV show was the right thing to do, as being his right-hand man, Ryuk?
Oh, Ryuk is no one's right-hand man. No. He was a bored death god, just willing to watch what happened. Light happened to be the first one to touch the Death Note, but he was by no means his right-hand man. But I think that, interestingly enough, as you'd think he would never be someone that would get attached to anyone, I played it as though he did start to form some attachment to Light. I don't think he wanted to write his name in the book when he died at the end, but deep down he always knew he would be the one to do it. Yeah. Right? It wasn't going to be someone else. It was going to be him. Right. And he probably didn't want to when the time came, but he did. And I I think he was surprised by some of the stuff Light did, but that was partly why he went to Earth, because he was a bored death god and he wanted to see what do these crazy humans do, and he found one that he didn't think it was crazy, but he went off the rails.
He provided a lot of excitement.
He provided a lot of entertainment.
And got Ryuk addicted to apples.
Exactly.
What I would say, first of all, we met you last year at CommanderCon.
Yeah.
Thank you first and foremost, man. You cool guy. Like, you just chill out, cool dude.
Thanks,
you could have told us hell no. That was the end of the day. Day 2 CommanderCon, you could have been like, be the kid. I'll catch you tomorrow. But now you're like, all right, look, I'll take this cash. Come on back. And you ain't had to. And I appreciate the sound like we might throw that in here in the video.
Of course.
But speaking of cons, how do you like them so far, man?
Oh, we love it. It's great to be able to get out and meet the fandom. Well, like I work on shows still now during the week, but especially tends to be when we're at the convention. So many of the fans are for work we did a long time ago, which when you're doing it, it's kind of underappreciated. Like when we were recording Dragon Ball Z, Death Note, you're screaming your guts out. You're working by yourself in most cases with shows that you dub.
Yeah.
So you're not, and dubbing doesn't pay that well. It's not great money, but it's still an art form that we work hard at and do quite well at. But it's different to be able to come to a convention and actually see that it really had an effect on people. People who grew up that, I worked out because I saw that Vegeta was always trying to get stronger and get better. So I decided to make my body stronger and better. Or it made me question life and death and wrong and right and morality in watching a show like Death Note. It's made me question, was that right or is that wrong, or is there kind of a gray area? Everything isn't just black and white. It brings up a lot. It's not just about violence or about action or about fighting. There's a lot of things that we as people already experience during life and grow up questioning or learning about ourselves that we find through anime. And it's nice to we don't know anybody actually learned those things until they might walk up to our table and they go, you know what? It's the first show I watched that made me think this, or I loved it because these things taught me that. Over and over again, we'll hear them in the con. So it's almost like giving a little fuel to us as performers to kind of light the fire to keep doing more. And that's why I think a big part of why we like doing it over and over.
Another question on top of that. How often do fans ask you, it's over 9,000?
Yeah, we do. I do get asked quite a bit, and I can only blame myself if I'm wearing it on my clothing. I mean, I know, what am I going to do? But it happens, and it's one of the most famous memes in all of anime. There's very few. If you talk to an anime fan, if you said it's over 9,000, you know what that means? They'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Most everyone would know.
By the way, it's my ringtone, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Messages, yes.
People are going to know, so I get asked a lot. I always try and ask for those who I'm going to do it for. I say, do you know what Nappa said directly before I say the line? And those that are able to, maybe with a little help, get it right, get to hear the line. Who here knows? What did Nappa say? Come on, what did Nappa say?
Vegeta. It's what's his power level read, Vegeta?
Almost. Hey, Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? Let's go.
Vegeta, what does the power level say?
What does the scouter say about his power level?
Oh, I got it.
Acting is hard.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Vegeta.
Here you go.
Hey, Vegeta, what does the scouter say?
About his power level.
About his power level.
Yes, it's over 9,000. That's what he says.
Childhood.
Oh my God. You know why he did it? Because he's bald.
I told Jay we should be Vegeta and Nappa for like a cosplay.
Why not?
But
I got the hair.
yeah, I told him I got the head and the thighs for it, man. I can pull it off.
Height in the hair, bro. Height in the hair.
Absolutely, man.
So Brian, I was also going through your IMDb and kind of looking, and you said you were an actor. I saw that you were in an episode of Smallville. Is this true?
Oh, well, yeah. In the early 90s, when I was sort of mid 92 through 2000. Like I said, I was doing
Yeah.
voice and TV and stuff. So yeah, I did small stuff on, bit parts on Smallville and Stargate, and all the stuff like X-Files was done in Vancouver. All those shows that there was a lot of sci-fi shot in Vancouver, and I probably did bit parts day or two here or there on all of them. I can't even remember who I was on Smallville. I think I played so many. It was before I had a beard. I played cops, security guards, FBI, SWAT team, all those guys, right? All the time, right? That's true. I was on Smallville.
Yeah. And also, too, I saw that you've been in a lot of Lego shows.
Yes.
A lot of Lego.
There, I think, is only, maybe D. Bradley Baker, who's a phenomenal voice actor. He might be the only voice actor that has more characters that are minifig characters that he's voiced than me. It's me. I think I'm number 2, and maybe Vincent Tong might be tied with me, have voiced the most Lego characters that have their own little minifigs.
Dang.
But I've done a lot. I've done a lot of Ninjago over the years, some Star Wars, a lot of it. Yeah.
So do you assemble Legos?
I haven't assembled one for a while, but I love Lego. We've got some great ones that we've done in the past, but I still have to wait for the right time to do it. But for Christmas, my wife got my favorite movie, which made me want to become an actor, because Michael J. Fox was from the province of British Columbia, where I grew up. He's Canadian, so you can imagine which movie was my favorite.
Course,
Back to the Future. My wife got me the DeLorean, the full-size DeLorean Lego for Christmas. That was my big Christmas present, one of the really rare ones. It's hard to find, and I haven't. It's still just sitting in the box, looking at me, waiting for me to do it. But it's going to put me together. It's going to get done. It's going to get done. But I love Lego. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, Brian, man, thank you so much for doing this for us. Man, we really appreciate
Without question,
it.
you guys are fabulous to chat with, and I've always enjoyed meeting you. We met Kamehacon, and here again, it's a thrill to do it, man. No question about it.
All right, man. Let the people know where they can reach you, find you, hear you.
Well, I need to up my game in my social media thing, but I can be found with the same handle, Brian Drummond VO, as in voiceover, Brian Drummond VO on Twitter and Instagram. My TikTok is non-existent at this point, but at least in those places, you can do it. That's probably because my dancing stinks. Exactly. But that's where you can find me for now. And check out some of the new stuff that's out there. If everyone likes dubbing stuff, you can find me in Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai. I play General Hadlar and Flazzard in that one, 2 big badasses that are really, really fun characters, and a lot of the same animation team from Dragon Ball Z. So you'll hear lots of hints of old school DBZ type fights coming from me on those shows. And of course, Eggman and Sonic Prime, which is out right now, and Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising is a new one that's out right now, which is fabulous as well. So check it out. Yeah.
Watch it. Watch it. Damn it.
I watch these guys. They're fun.
Oh, come on.
Even when we messed up, we fun, right?
I know, right? But Brian, thanks again for doing this. We really appreciate it. But we're going to jump out of here. I am Chad.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is
Brian Drummond.
And I'm
Yo, man, and we are Fusion High, and we are out this thing. High!